They leave college full of dreams and high hopes, but instead of finding fulfillment, this generation is telling us they feel lost.
My friends and my parents think that I have it all together, but inside I'm a big ball of confusion.
More than ever before, they feel trapped, pressured, and paralyzed.
I doubt my past, my present, my future. Most of all, I doubt myself.
20-somethings burning out, melting down, and losing hope.
I feel like I've lost my freedom at 24, and that's not the dream I had for myself.
I don't want to be 30 and be in this situation. I don't want to be 40 and still unhappy.
A generation on the edge. Why being young has never been so hard. Next.
Today we're celebrating a Grammy-nominated gospel singer, one of the best voices in the world, who has brought tears to the eyes of presidents and celebrities and even Mother Teresa. And then he found an even more powerful way to use his voice. While singing to prisoners, Wintley Phipps was haunted by what he saw and became determined to prevent the next generation from going down the same path. Take a look at how Wintley is using his voice and his vision to reach out to the children of prisoners by giving them a chance to achieve anything.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Everywhere I could have ever wanted to go in the world to sing, I've had the privilege of going. I've sung at the White House. I've sung for presidents. One of the great honors of my life was to be the last person to sing Amazing Grace for Mother Teresa on American soil. I was on a train to Philadelphia, and I had an opportunity to meet Chuck Colson of Watergate fame, who went to prison and came out and started what has become the largest prison ministry in the world. And he began taking me into the prisons with him to sing. I had an experience where I actually saw one of my wife's nieces pregnant in prison. All of my wife's 7 brothers and sisters have either been in jail or incarcerated at some point in their lives. I realized that many of the children whose parents are incarcerated were going to become incarcerated themselves, and I had to do something about it. I wanted to use my voice in a different way to help break that cycle in the lives of children who are at risk. The Dream Academy is a program that brings mentoring and tutoring to children who have a family member that's incarcerated. Between 60 and 70% of the children who become involved in the criminal justice system come from the children of prisoners. The other group of kids that we focus on are children who are failing or falling behind in school, because 80% of the 2 million who are in prison are high school dropouts.
I do have 2 brothers that are in prison, along with a nephew who's in prison and a son that was just released from prison.
It upset me when they went to prison because I couldn't see them, I couldn't call them.
I think the Dream Academy has made a tremendous difference. I've actually seen a turnaround in my child.
The kids come to our center twice a week, and this is a safe haven for them. When they come here, we take them through a program of academic enrichment. We see their grades go up. We see suspensions go down.
Before she was a C- D student, coming in contact with Dream Academy, she's a B+ student, which is a big change.
These kids are being transformed. They become different people.
I love myself. I am somebody, and I will be successful.
It's very important to teach values, respect, kindness, honesty.
Let me tell you what honesty means to me. See, I'm a doctor, and a lot of people trust me.
I like Dr. Shields because she encourages us to do the right thing. She teaches us about honesty.
One of the things that we do here at the Dream Academy is we have a community choir that's made up of the children who come to our center and a church in the local community. I believe that I'm helping children to find their own dreams and to live out their own dreams and to find their own voice and their path in life.
Please welcome Wentley Phipps, founder of the U.S. Dream Academy. Wentley! Wentley and I go back a long way. When I was in Baltimore, he was saying, "You're going to make something of yourself, girl." We honor you with this $100,000 award, Use Your Life, because you're using your voice to do exactly what you said on that tape, to transform the lives of young people. God bless you.
Thank you.
It's so good to see you. Hi. Yeah, you're welcome.
This is the most important award we've ever received because it will allow us to focus the help of millions of Americans on children who are struggling in school and children who have a parent in prison. 80% of the kids who end up in prison come from those two groups of kids. And this award will help us to make a big difference in their lives. On behalf of the Dream Academy, my wife Linda and all of our supporters.
I see your children there. I saw him being born.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And we just want to let you know we thank you for using the blessings of your life and success to make a difference in the lives of our children. We love you.
Oh,
thank you so much.
We have a little surprise for you. Hold on. When we told the folks at Gateway that you plan to expand your program and we'll need more computers for the children to do their homework, they sent you 50 top-of-the-line computers.
Wow.
Gateway! The money for this week's Use Your Life Award comes from you, our viewers. Thanks to all of you who have supported our Angel Network. We'll be right back. Right back. It's so good to see you! Coming up, they are 20-something and troubled.
So frustrated.
Why is this generation of young adults burning out, melting down, and facing an unprecedented crisis?
I've tried to take the correct path, and now I'm still lost. I often ask myself, is this all there is to life?
Being 20-something in the 21st century, when we come back. Well, there are many 20-somethings who are living what they describe as a double life. On the outside, they may look happy and successful and well-adjusted, but on the inside, they say that they are burning out, they are melting down, and that they're facing the biggest crises of their lives. That is according to a new book called Quarter Life Crisis by Alex Robbins and Abby Wilner. Now, they say that young adults are facing an epidemic of indecision, self-doubt, and devastating pressure. Take a look.
My friends, my mentors, and my parents, they all think that I have it all together, but inside I'm a big ball of confusion.
Chances are, if you're a 20-something in this country, you're in the middle of a monumental identity crisis.
I used to be happy to live every day, and now I feel like I've lost hope.
The transition to the real world has never been tougher.
I feel that I've worked hard, I've tried to take the correct path, and now I'm still lost.
We call this the quarter life crisis. It's marked by overwhelming instability, a panicked sense of helplessness, and a feeling of chaos.
I feel overwhelmed that I have so many things to do. I end up not doing anything I'm supposed to be doing.
Things are much different in the 21st century for 20-somethings for several reasons. The internet age has exploded the number of options available to 20-somethings. .coms simply didn't exist 30 years ago. The focus was more on support the family rather than love what you do.
I have $30,000 in student loans hanging over my head right now, and I feel that I have to resort to taking jobs that I'm not exactly happy in.
The media trumpets the successes of 20-somethings like Tiger Woods, or even teenagers like the latest girl band or a 14-year-old professional golfer. Magazines splash headlines about the latest whiz kids, and this is what 20-somethings are inundated with.
I do think I put a lot of pressure on myself with my intelligence and with my ambition and my desire to do something that I should be famous at, whatever it is that I want to do.
We know from research that there is a high rate of disorders in this age group, including addiction, depression, anxiety, and other problems.
There's nothing sadder in life than not having hope.
So I know that this may be confusing to a lot of you who are not 20-somethings anymore and older. You're saying people are, I think the general overall impression is that generation, this generation of 20s have had it better than any generation in the history of the planet. So, Alex, why are so many 20-somethings depressed?
Well, one reason is exactly what you said. People think that this is the easiest time ever for 20-somethings. So when 20-somethings reach their 20s and they don't find it to be so easy, they think, what's wrong with me?
But why isn't it easier?
One reason is that there are so many more options. It's harder for them to choose. They feel like the world is their oyster. They feel like they've been told, I can be anything I want to be. So they know
so
first
why can't they just be it?
Because they don't know what it is.
Because they don't know what it is.
No, they have a hard time figuring out exactly what it is they want in the first place.
So it's having too much opportunity, too many choices?
That's part of it. It's also a lot of pressure to succeed.
And so people become overwhelmed by the pressure to succeed.
Right. They feel like they have to do fantastic things by the time they're 25, like they see in the media.
Okay, now meet Dr. Drew Pinsky. He has been a trusted source of information and advice for millions of young adults over the last 18 years. As co-host of MTV's Loveline, he was known for being the voice of reason, and on his popular radio show, he speaks to thousands of young adults anxious to ask questions of the man they know as Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew says that he is seeing an alarming number of young adults who also seem anchorless and disconnected.
It's true. It's true. As the authors were telling you, that this is a time of very high expectation. They don't manage their expectations particularly well. And you talk to young people, they think when they finish college, it's as though the chuck wagon ought to pull up and the guy pulls out the big triangle and starts ringing it, come and get it, you know, and they're going to have it just as good as all the dot-commers did. And the fact is, the reality is quite different. I mean, this is a transition that's been difficult for humans for a long time. That sort of 20-something transition is
right. So we're trying to figure out, why is it tougher now? Because it seems like there are more opportunities available and more choices, and that would give you a wider range.
You would think so, but there is, again, this expectation, this sort of sense of entitlement, perhaps. And also the thing that I hear about most often is this profound sense of disconnect that young people have. They really don't feel connected with family, connected with a higher power, connected with themselves, and they're trying to live up to expectations, as you guys mentioned. They're living out what parents say you ought to be doing, or what the media says they ought to be doing, as opposed to really connecting with something more substantial.
So there's a lack of a spiritual connection also.
That's a big piece of this.
Yeah.
A big piece.
Yeah, I see that a lot, because, you know, we come from a generation, we grew up in the church, we had, you know, family, had community.
You don't have that. And what you do here, though, is kids that do find a higher power connection feel very gratified by it. It helps them solve these problems. It's really about getting outside of yourself, isn't it? It's about not being so focused on me and the now. They lose sight of the fact that the journey is really what's so wonderful about all this. It's about, I got to get there. I got to get there yesterday. And of course, you know, Mom and Dad expected me to be there yesterday. There's always that riding on them.
Okay, this is Courtney, who thought a college degree, a social life, and a promising future would make her happy. But at 24, she says she never dreamed she would be so lost, so confused, and so unfulfilled. Take a look at how Courtney's 20s have left her asking, is this all there is? I hear this a lot from my 20-year-old friends.
This is hands down the most confusing time in my life. I graduated 2 years ago, and I've been lost ever since. Every day when I went to work, I was miserable. I tried to figure out something else I could do. I took the law school entrance exam, was accepted to Georgetown, couldn't decide if that's what I wanted to do either. Put that off for a year, deferred, and still can't decide. My financial situation is a mess. My credit is ruined from college. I have no money in the bank. Every month, it's a struggle. I feel completely overwhelmed with the decisions that I need to make. I have too many choices. I can't pick just one. I relentlessly question my future every day. I try and figure out where I'm supposed to be. It makes me feel sometimes like physically sick. I doubt my abilities to make a decision to the point where I second guess myself so much that I end up making no decision. I doubt my readiness to be an adult. I doubt my past, my present, my future, where I'm going. Most of all, I doubt myself. I've let myself down in pretty much every area of my life. So much so that I feel like I'm drowning in the ocean and I can't get out. I constantly am questioning what I'm doing here, what's my purpose, how am I gonna find the right way? It's like the whole world is this huge black abyss filled with self-doubt. I am very self-critical. My self-esteem seems to have disappeared, ripped away from me. I obsess about the things that I hate about myself. I can spend hours in front of a mirror going over all the things that make me unhappy. The only fun I have is when I'm out with my friends drinking, not thinking about huge questions in life. We go out to have fun, to forget about our everyday existence. I think I drink too much. I go out to get drunk, not to socially drink, doing shots, having multiple drinks in an evening. It's a let's get wasted mentality. Since January, I've been sexually inactive, and that was because I made a conscious decision to change behaviors that I'd exhibited in the